Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We kind of kick off the show. Thank you, Charlie Covington, for that poem about the fishing rodeo. I mean, that may be our annual poem to bring out for the fishing rodeo if it continues into its 69th year next year, which we hope it is. And speaking of kids event, and kids, I think that the rodeo is, when I first got here, I didn't know what a fishing rodeo was. How can you ride fish?
That's what people say. How you going to lasso?
And I was finally told it was like lassoing fish was part of the rodeo thing. Well, a lot of people don't realize how much Ducks Unlimited, our Memphis-based folks from out there off Walnut Grove with a big duck sign, how much they do for youth and their participation, whether it's through the Green Wings program, which a lot of us have known kids to come up through that or whatever it might be, but they really do a great job. And recently they kind of made a little new step in that youth development through a joining forces to help educate Boy Scouts and the importance of waterfowl and wetlands conservation. And so who better to talk to about this on this subject is our good friend Mark Horobetz. He's DU Manager of Youth and Education Programs. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Larry Ray. Thanks for having me.
Thanks you for being on with us. Let's talk first about this new partnership. Explain that to our listeners out there between DU and Boy Scouts of America.
Absolutely. You said it pretty well just a little while ago, but I'm very proud to announce that Ducks Unlimited is now the official conservation partner of BSA, or Boy Scouts of America. And so what does that essentially mean? Mm-hmm. Well, we signed a sponsorship agreement with them back in May of this year. Mm-hmm. And the purpose of it, again, as you indicated, is an effort to reach more youth in conservation education and also waterfowling and outdoor heritage messaging. I think it's something so important for us to do as a unit, and Boy Scouts of America and Ducks Unlimited was a perfect marriage for us to be able to do that. We've impacted over 14 million acres over the span of our career. Well, the Boy Scouts have impacted over well over that number of youth in this country since their beginning in 1910. So it's just a perfect marriage for us to come together with this messaging, and we're excited to be a part of it.
Well, you spoke 1910. That's obviously even before me. A lot of people don't realize that.
It was close.
Yeah. And I know the Boy Scouts, it's changed a little bit, but I know that my fulfillment and Cub Scouts and all those things growing up back in my youthful days, and I know that Gene Smith is with us, been involved in a lot of troop activity.
I do a lot of scout stuff. I used to do a green wing program at Ducks Unlimited, and I brought my archery, and I went to the bathroom one time. The kids shot all my arrows in the water.
You still remember that?
Yeah.
Now, let's don't blame that on Mark.
No, not Mark. But they're just kids.
Yeah, that's kids that will do that and everything. But
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, but the Boy Scouts have been around, and you guys have been around, and explain your job, because a lot of folks, we talk to the scientists, we talk to this and that. But I think you have one of the most important parts of the job is to get the young kids involved in the outdoors, and you guys do it through different programs. So kind of walk us through, Mark, the job description that you have.
Absolutely. Well, you hit the nail on the head. It's a very important job, and I'm very blessed to have this position within the organization. And I do get the privilege of working with our Green Wings, who are our 11 and under members that you alluded to.
Yeah.
And then I also work with our high school chapters, which we refer to as our varsity chapters. We have several right here in the Mid-South Shelby County area. And then, of course, our collegiate chapter program, which has been around since the 1980s. And so we really have we get to cover everything from, the pigtails all the way up to those that are going off to college. And our purpose is very simple. We want to instill in them, the conservation education message that is our sole purpose and mission for what we do as an organization, and then also to teach them to be good stewards of the land, to teach them to be good philanthropists, the importance of getting involved with something that you have a passion and love for, and teaching them the principle of if you don't give back to it, well, it may not be here when you get older or when your kids come around. So that's really been our focus as an organization, and we've really done a great job with it, Larry. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about this, and of course our new partnership with BSA just only furthers that cause. And we're going to be supporting the Joe Crafton Sportsman Complex, Hunting Heritage Hall, and everything that they've got to offer there at the Summit Bethel Reserve in West Virginia. So just really excited about all of it.
And you've got two young people yourself now. I mean, you've got two kids, right?
I do.
Yeah,
9 and 11.
Yes, and I know you're just a pup, but kids today have so much to draw them away from what we want them to see and learn.
Get them in outdoors.
Yeah, and I know that's part of your function is to get more kids involved, right?
It is, absolutely. And, I mean, I saw it this past weekend. I took my son is Wallace, my daughter's Forrest, took them over to our hunting camp in Arkansas just to get them out there and ride four-wheelers, fish, get ready for deer and duck season. And even over there, I had to pull them out of the house because they were wanting to get on the on the games and stuff. So so you're right on the money, Mr. Larry Ray, and that's what we do as an organization with our Green Wing events, our outdoor events, we alluded to earlier, shooting archery, shooting bows, getting them outside, teaching them how to fly cast, anything and everything outdoors. We're all about getting them there and getting it in their hands and getting them out of the house.
So we're not necessarily saying you got to go duck hunting or anything along that line, which we hope they will.
Right.
But that's why it's such importance that you guys put on it through your Green Rate program. And so tell the listeners a little bit about that, because you said 11 and under, you kind of threw it in there, but there's a lot of kids involved in that program across the United States, isn't there?
There is, yes, sir. Our membership, our Green Wing membership, is up right now. And
what do you think it is? Well, how many do you think?
We're right at about 50,000.
Wow. Okay. That's great.
It's a good number. We want to keep growing it, obviously, but that's just with our 11 and under membership. And our outdoor events, you just hit the nail on the head again. It's not so much, hey, we want to teach you about duck hunting. Mm-hmm. We want to just teach them all there is to offer about just getting outside, learning about the outdoors, whether it be fishing, whether it be, taking your pup down to the pond and throwing them a bumper. It could be learning about the different types of wildlife that are out there. It's not just waterfowl or ducks, or it's deer, it's turkey, it's raccoons, it's squirrels, possums, you name it. So we give them that opportunity at the Green Wing events. We have about 150 events across the country, and those are just sponsored events that DU does. There's more events across the country that we do with other organizations, like-minded organizations as well. So really trying to put the foot on the gas, so to speak, and ramp this portion of our business up.
So you gave up a career in banking.
I
do
did,
what you
you've got
do
a great
now.
memory. I'm more impressed as this phone call goes on.
Well, I mean, so you gave up that career, and that's talking about really a step of faith, I got to believe, to do what you're doing now. So you got to have a passion for this. So is that passion still there? And what made you do this?
That passion is there, Larry Ray. Giving up banking was the greatest decision I ever made. Of course, I met some good friends along the way, but I started duck hunting when I was 5 years old with my dad. And,
there you go.
I wanted to impact more than just my two children as far as the opportunities that are out there to get involved with the outdoors. And I also got involved with Ducks Unlimited in college during my tenure at Ole Miss, and so to be able to work with those young men and women as well is inspirational. They give me energy, and I tell you what, they're a lot of fun to work with as well. But so impacting not just the young ones, the youth, the pigtails as we call them, but all the way up to our friends and volunteers in the college and high school chapter system as well.
And your dad, what's his name?
Jim Horobetz.
Is he still alive?
He's still alive. Just got off the phone with him a little while ago. We're already talking about what duck blinds need to be brushed and rebuilt this year. So he was very instrumental and still remains a huge part of my life as far as getting me involved in the outdoors.
And what was it like when you made that decision, Mark? I've always, I never made that decision because I'm still doing what I've always done since I was 22. Because getting paid for my mouth and my writing. But tell me the decision. Did your dad advise you on this, or was it a tough decision to give up what you had to take this bold step?
Well, it wasn't that tough a decision. I mean, he did help me with it, Larry Ray. But I'll tell you, the moment I knew that I was in the right position was traveling to the airport. And didn't want to leave my kids, missed them back at home.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got to where I was going, and I started talking to the volunteers of Ducks Unlimited, I started meeting with some of the youth, the high school and collegiate chapter volunteers, and some of the Green Wings that were at that event.
Yeah.
I knew immediately that I'd made the right decision, and I've never looked back. It's been just over 5 years, and great organization to work for, and
it really
we're really happy about the future.
Well, Mark, I appreciate you being with us on this Saturday morning. Tell our listeners where can they go to find out if they've got some kids and they say they'd like to be part of the DU, one of the youth programs. Where do they go to get information on that?
Absolutely. You can go check out our website, of course, www.ducks.org.
Yeah.
And the very top bar to just click on Get Involved.
There you go.
Youth programs, and it lays it all out there for you.
All right, Mark. Thank you, buddy, for being with us. I hope it wasn't too painful, so we will stay in touch, and good luck on everything else. Okay, man?
Thank you, Larry Ray. I enjoyed it.
All right, thank you, buddy. All right,
yes,
Mark Horobetz. Let's take a break, get away from the Ducks, and I hope someone is supposed to be here. If he's not, he must have run out of gas someplace, but we'll find out. Be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.